Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, January 9th, 2022, after 3 p.m. Eastern. Gather all your courage, take a jump. Even the dewdrop slipping from a lotus leaf trembles for a moment, tries to hang on a little more because it can see the ocean below. Once it has fallen from the lotus leaf, it is gone, but it is not a loss. It will become oceanic. The ocean of existence is unlimited. Osho. There once was a man who was very passionate about his search to find God. He searched everywhere. For years, he looked in churches, mosques, and temples, only to find that those places simply deepened his internal search. So he decided to search for those beings who he felt had a special relationship with God. Each person he met only gave him love and a few wise words to reflect upon, which only made his yearning burn deeper. Years went by, and totally frustrated now, he started to look for God in the not-so-obvious places. He looked in the bars, on television, movies, in his relationship with his wife, in his bank account, even far out of town in nature. He searched to the very depths of his own mind, felt that God was nowhere to be found. Then one day, he was out walking his dog in a nearby park, came to the conclusion that this search was utterly hopeless. He would give up his search. It was just too painful. So he decided just to be content with not knowing God and lead a very ordinary, normal life. In that moment, a miracle happened. St. Peter instantly appeared before his eyes and showed him a secret back door that had a golden staircase which spiraled high into the sky. St. Peter said that this was a direct path to God's door and that he could go meet God today. The man was thrilled. He was overcome with such excitement that he ran up all 10,000 stairs. At the top, completely exhausted, he saw the great divine door in front of him, with golden light pouring through the edges. The word God was written in bold print, radiating with light. He slowly walked up to the door, and was just about to knock when he stopped himself. He wondered if he was just a bit too tired and out of sorts to be 100% prepared to really meet God. He knew God was behind this door, and he wanted to look good and feel at his best for this amazing encounter. So he sat down, leaned his back against the door to rest. Many hours had passed, and he decided he felt well rested. Yet, during this time, he had started to think about all the questions he was going to ask, and then wondered, what if God didn't have time for all these silly questions? So he sat back down, pondered even more about what would be that one most important question he would ask God. So the hours rolled into days, into weeks, months, and then years. Being so close to God, he was in a place of timelessness. So didn't need to eat, drink, or sleep. Finally, looking back, he realized that his life on earth was almost over. And if he didn't knock now, it would never happen. However, being steeped for years in hesitation and contemplation, his courage to knock had dwindled down to nothing. He could barely lift his hand, so he yelled out, "God, are you in there?" He heard a great silence in return. The man waited and waited and waited, expecting God to come out, or at least say something back. There was nothing. Only a deep silence was heard. Yet this silence somehow penetrated every cell in his being. After much time listening to the depth and stillness of the silence, he felt a deep peace inside. He realized This was what he was searching for his whole life. This eternal silence was God's presence and was within him the entire time. Discover the vast, peaceful silence in the core of your being. That's the God. Our lives were never meant to be this serious. We take them seriously. We were born giggling, laughing, and our eyes were constantly filled with wonder. Each day that we are alive is still a gift for us to unwrap and feel the divine presence inside each and every one of us. There is so much that we have learned so far, and yet perhaps the greatest lesson of them all is learning how to say no to the serious dis-ease and really start enjoying ourselves. Imagine what it's like to always have a big fat smile on your face 24 hours a day. It's time to set sail for the fifth dimension. People think, this is quite interesting, that people think a soulmate is your perfect fit, and that's what everyone wants. But a true soulmate is a mirror. The person who shows you everything that is holding you back. The person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. Elizabeth Gilbert. All of us at one time or another, depending, have been longing to connect with a special someone in a deep, personal, loving way. Do you want to feel your heart spilling over with joy because you are in love again? Sometimes we can get wrapped up in our busy lives and forget how amazing it is to be in love with and connect with someone on a very deep, intimate, and spiritual level. We may spend our time wishing we had an amazing love in our lives instead of taking action to find, create, and attract the love we deserve. If we found our lives haven't or doesn't have all the love that we want in it, and have almost forgotten what it's like to be madly, deeply in love, it may be time to turn your heart upside down and take a big risk to get the most out of your life. The first manifesting secret to attracting your soulmate into your life is to fully embrace, love, and accept yourself just as you are. Loving you with all of your flaws, frailties, and insecurities turns you into a powerful manifesting magnet. By diving deep into self-acceptance, you'll find that it's much easier for everyone else to feel at peace when hanging out with you. When you're okay with all your parts, it's easy to open the door to intimacy with anyone. Dive into your heart center. Sit in the silence. Desire self-realization with all your heart, with all your mind, and all your soul. Cry out for God, and you will be with the right people. Everything will take care of itself. Robert Adams. It doesn't even matter if it's a romantic love relationship. You'll find yourself connecting on a deeper level with everybody. We all deserve to feel the freedom and joy of what it's like to let our guard down fully so we can truly let in love. There is no other way than true vulnerability to find this divine, intimate connection. It is the gateway to knowing what it's like to be fully alive. Imagine, the first thing you do each morning is bathe in a pool of self-love. Bathe in a pool of self-love. Instead of checking your email or getting that cup of coffee, take that time to practice accepting, appreciating, and approving all the parts you've disliked and judged about yourself. Don't get out of bed until you really feel okay about all your parts. You can even make a list of what you've judged about yourself in the past and practice letting those parts go. Excuse me. Just imagine a love valve is in the middle of your chest, connected to your heart, and it slowly opens up, giving a warm, sweet love to all those parts. Remain in a continuous state of acceptance of everything you find inside you for as long as you possibly can. Don't lose touch with this self-loving practice for your entire day. How much you're able to love your mate is proportionate to how much you can deeply, eternally love yourself. You'll see that it's much easier to meet and manifest a juicy soulmate when you become deeply juicy with you. The degree of which you love yourself will determine your ability to love the other person, who will be reflecting back to you many of your own personality traits and qualities. Sonia Roman. The next secret is to practice eye contact with people. When you're brave enough to let down your guard and allow yourself to remain in constant eye contact with someone, letting them look into your eyes and soul, you'll have allowed yourself to be open and vulnerable again. This is where the juiciest life on earth begins. The trick is to find ways to remove your armor. Each time you do this, you're basically saying to the universe that I trust you and know you'll take care of me. Long, deep soul gazing into the eyes of another being is one of the most powerful and courageous acts a human can do, and will lift your vibration and transform your life. Another way to enhance your love vibration is to get in touch with that spiritual warrior inside you. There is a wild, untamed, and ravenously free part of you that is just waiting to be discovered. If you want to find this part, start sharing those parts of you that cannot be shared. When you open up and share that which cannot be shared with someone, all those old shields from your past all fall down. This life is a very short and wild ride anyway. You might as well enjoy it. You may not even have the chance to love someone tomorrow. So the best thing you can do is talk about what you cannot talk about and remove your social armor right now. Love is the only thing you get more of by giving it away. T. Wilson. All these different techniques for taking down your walls opens an energetic pathway for your soulmate to come into your life. True intimacy means you are not hiding anything anymore. You are an open book, allowing anyone to read, poke, and probe into you. This may be terrifying to be totally open and real with people, yet you'll find that it's actually quite refreshing. You give others the permission to be open about their lives, which they may have been waiting for years for someone like you to let their guard down. The secret is having no fear about the future or any outcome that may result. Use your intuition if you're afraid and simply share yourself freely and fully. This will allow you to take back the reins on your heart, ride down the trails of new adventurous love life. It's important to love others so freely and fully that you can abandon all fear. Imagine what it's like to love someone as if you've never been hurt before. This is what real love is about, and is what will attract many soulmates into your path. It can be very challenging at first to break away from old patterns of protecting, hiding, and avoiding the opportunity for more intimacy. The best kept secret to making you more attractive to others is practicing being authentically you in all situations. This means not hiding anything from yourself. Be honest with what you see inside you. Be responsible for what you find. And take the time to sit with any fear-based walls of protection you have. As soon as you notice where the source of your fear is coming from, then you can transcend it. It becomes very easy to let things go when you realize how they are blocking you from feeling the amazing feeling of being fully alive and deeply in love. Intimacy means that there is no privacy. You don't carry anything private now, at least with the person you are intimate with. You drop your privacy. You are nude and naked. Good, bad, whatsoever you are open. You open your heart. And whatever the cost you pay for it, whatever the trouble you go through with it, that brings growth, Osho. It is time to, on this planet, at this time, to release any mental, emotional, or physical inner wounds you are holding on to, so that you are more open and receptive to the divinity within. For today, redirect your attention towards the most soft, gentle, loving, healing energy you can imagine. Perhaps it's Mother Mary, a new puppy, a soft, fuzzy blanket, or receiving a message from a divine healing master. Whatever you focus on, let yourself soften and welcome the relaxing, healing vibrations all throughout your body. This gentleness will help you heal in more ways than you know. Imagine a soft healing energy is penetrating every cell in your body throughout the day today. Notice how your face changes in the mirror when you are focusing on this healing energy. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we are in. Focus on the breath. It's only the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And the breath is our power while we're in these bodies. It gives us the opportunity to still the ego mind, to still the unconscious mind, or the subconscious mind. This means we leave the ego mind alone. We leave the subconscious mind alone. And what this does is it stills the ego mind and the subconscious mind. It allows us to begin to master them by watching them, not judging them. So we master them. Doesn't happen overnight, but it's part of the journey. You will notice when you do this that the body will let go. The body will surrender. It'll relax. And you can tell this by the lightness you feel. It may not be lightness physically. It may just be lightness within. But you'll know that the body is relaxing because you're no longer focused on the ego mind or the subconscious mind. You're no longer in a state of worry, stress, fear, anxiety, concern, seriousness, because you leave it. And when you leave it, you surrender it. And anything that comes up through the ego mind, like a stress, a worry, a fear, you sit down on the couch with it and say, okay, so why are you here? What is it that I'm fearing with you? What is this fear? What's it about? You'd be amazed on what happens. Absolutely amazed. So we face many things with ourselves in this life. Many of us choose to not face them. Many of us choose to ignore them. And hopes or beliefs that they will go away. And they don't. And we accumulate them throughout this life. And it's not like we do it on purpose. It's almost like a habit that it's easier to just not face them and just keep moving forward and ignoring them, hoping that they will fade away. But they always come bubbling back. So this is part of the surrendering, relaxing the body, focusing on the breath, and being in the now. Being in the now for all of us is the only place to be. This is where we begin to master. This is when, while we're in the endless journey within, it gives us the opportunity to focus on what? The gods that we are. The God within each and every one of us. The source of all creation. And we focus on this because we don't have that mind chatter that all of us have 24/7. We have millions of thoughts that flash by us, like clouds in the sky. But they're not ours. And they're real tricky through the ego mind. And a lot of the times we will embrace those thoughts, and we're such powerful beings that we'll literally move those thoughts into form, bring them into reality, and experience them. So why a lot of the times we say to ourselves, this just doesn't feel right. Something's not right with this. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't feel right. It's because it's not yours. When we generate thoughts, we send them out. We don't have them come in. That's how you know the difference between your thoughts and others' thoughts. And these other thoughts, they're from millions and billions of us. So you see how tricky it can get. That's how when we're focused on our breath and we're in the now, right? And the now is the space between heartbeats. It's the breath. So it's easy for us to grab onto one of those clouds that's flying by in the sky, which is a program, which is a thought that's not ours, that's where we float off. And they're real tricky. They're tricky. They're slick. Because you could say, well, that's my thought. It's got my name on it. You know, it's what I would think, but it's not yours. And the mind and the ego play this game all the time. So and it's crucial that we maintain gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness with ourselves and be in deep gratitude 24/7, no matter what's going on around you. So when these thoughts, that we grab them, because none of us are exempt from them, and they're not ours, we grab them and then we move them into form, create them into reality. We say, that's not my thought. That is not my thought. And then you focus on your breath and you're in the now. Now, some of us may do this 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, 1,000 times a day. It just depends. But it's all about practicing it. We want these bodies that we're in to be in a relaxed state all the time. We don't care to take this life so seriously that we miss it, that it flashes by us because we took it so seriously for so very long that we never really had a chance to enjoy it. And that's what happens to a lot of us. We get so caught up and so serious about this and that. And we also negate the fact that we have not even met the God within us. So we ride the wave, so to speak. A lot of us ride the wave. And riding the wave can be fun at times, but not all the time. And many of us ride the wave all the time. But when you begin to understand is that you ask yourself, why would I take this life so seriously? This is ridiculous. The reason that many of us do is because we don't go within. We're still caught in the rat trap outside, which is the material physical world. And it's up to each and every one of us. No one's going to force us, convince us, trick us to taking that path. It's going to be up to each and every one of us to take it. Many, as we speak, are beginning to open that door to the God within them because they've chosen to. And to be as silent as much as possible. Do you think that we knowingly, right, that we're aware, okay, that we would carry all this crap with us throughout this life? Everything that the subconscious mind stores, we drag it with us. Old stuff and insignificant things, and we drag it with us. And we build up fears, which are illusions. And we build up all this stuff. But a lot of the times we don't know it. We don't know it. We're such in a habit of it, it's just automatic. And the biggest gateway that this civilization is ever going to find out is meditation. This is the gateway to the God within these bodies. It's the gateway to enjoying this life. To smile more, laugh more. Look at this stuff that you've taken so seriously and start realizing, what the heck am I taking this so seriously for? This is ridiculous. Have you ever been so serious that someone's joking with you and you take them seriously? Have you ever been there? Most of us have. They're literally, they're not trying to trick you or anything. They're just joking with you and you take them seriously. And this is where a lot of people will say, wow, I really was just joking. I wasn't, trying to make a point or anything. I was just joking with you. And this journey, this endless journey that we're on, discovering the God within us again, at one time we knew. We somehow lost it, became amnesia. And so now we're rediscovering the God within us. So it's always focusing on the breath. And it doesn't mean you have to sit somewhere and breathe deeply in and almost knock yourself out. It's an easy deep breath in and an easy deep breath out. And this is paramount because it literally brings us into the now. Do we have yesterday? No. Do we have tomorrow? Seriously, do we have tomorrow? No. We have the now. That's all we've ever had is the now. Now, doesn't it make sense that we would focus only on the now? But unfortunately, many of us don't. We focus either on yesterday or tomorrow. And the now sits there. Everything happens in the now. We create our futures in the now. The now makes the past because the present moment, the now, ends up being the past. So it all circulates in the now. Well, most of us, when you say we're consciously aware, what does that mean? It means that we are consciously aware, that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. That's being consciously aware. Then the rest opens up. Now, when you look at yesterday, the past, and tomorrow, the future, and today, the now. And you're just picture three golden circles. And you're standing in the center one, which is the now. And then one on the left is the past, one on the right is the future. Now you look at these paths, and you see these beautiful trees, and they're all gold, shimmering, the leaves, the bark, the branches, everything. And they formed a canopy over those paths. And they all look very similar. And the path itself is a brilliant emerald green, almost like a flaming light. Now you notice that the path you're standing on, which is the now, it looks like it's never been used. One on the left, it looks like it's really been used. One on the right looks like it's really been used. Now, we all have memories, and we indulge in those memories, experiences, past experiences, and we enjoy them. We have a private library called our subconscious mind. We go in there and we review things. Sometimes we review the things that weren't that great. And we enjoy them, and we reminisce and savor. And then we put the book back on the shelf, and we turn the light off, shut the door, and move forward. But some of us, and I don't believe it's knowingly, consciously, but some of us stay there so long that we end up bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past, reliving that past and that future. That's why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, all of us, we go into the future, but the future doesn't exist because we're creating it in the now. So we go into this future and we ask ourselves, we ask these questions. When am I going to meet the love of my life? When am I going to have the right boss? When am I going to get a promotion? When am I going to get a better job? When am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? When am I going to be healthy enough to enjoy my life? When am I going to get that house I want? When am I going to be able to afford to buy a new vehicle? It goes on and on and on. And all the things that we're seeking, the answers are within us. They always have been. And we spend so much time outside of ourselves scraping, clawing, grappling, trying to get somewhere. And how many of us get there? It's like the guy that was trying to find God. So the now is our focus as much as we can possibly focus on the now. And the obstacles, they're quite challenging because when you get used to doing something, as we all know, it's not that easy to shift out of it, even though it doesn't serve us the greater good. So it's always our choice. Now, when we know we're not the body, we know we're not the name, we know we're not the character, the personality, we know we're not the belongings or the life status, we know that we're the God within the body. So when we relax the body through our breath, we begin to understand that we can look at the body. Not judge it, just look. And we notice these 7 lights from the tailbone to the top of the head. These 7 lights are called chakras. The definition of chakra is wheel. These are wheels of light. They're spiritual etherical energy. We all have them. And the gods that we are within these bodies are spiritual etherical energy. So we flow through those wheels of light. So we know these bodies, inside and out, head to toe, right down to the quantum quark. We know every physical operation that's happening. The body communicates to each of us all the time, but most of the time we don't know how to communicate with the body because we don't know the body. And so you understand that because we flow through these chakras, these wheels of life, constantly, we know all the organs, we know the blood flow, circulation, every biological, organic tissue in the body. Because doesn't it make sense that when we have that intimate knowledge of these bodies, that we should be able to heal them in a blink of the eye and know exactly what's going on with them at all times? And we, on this endless journey within ourselves, we will discover, once again, that we can heal these bodies at a blink of the eye. Now, we know that the soul enters the body and powers the body. So the body breathes, all the organs, everything comes online, starts functioning. And we know that the soul, the God source, the kingdom of God, the heaven, is heaven on earth. The body is earth. The soul is heaven. So we're literally heaven on earth. Not only that, but every step we take, we're creating paradise. Not figuratively, but literally. And we're shining our light 24/7, 360 degrees nonstop. What does that mean, shining our light? The God, force, love, light, energy, the kingdom of God, that which we are within these bodies. And it is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And it's flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. On, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. It's absolutely stupendous. And along the way, some of us, may discover in our inward journey that we are the light. That when we decide to leave these bodies, we will not follow the light because we are the light. Why would you follow a light when you're the light? It's just nonsensical. It is a trap. Now, if you were to take a starship off planet and went out far enough, and you looked at the planet so you could see its entirety, you would see that it glowed. I mean, for goodness sakes, we have 8 billion gods on this planet, some awake, some asleep, shining their light. So then you look at all the lights around this planet throughout the universe, and they're dim in comparison. They're like a lit candle in a dark space. They're dim. Now, we also know that parts of the gods that we are awake and consciously aware, and the others are just sound asleep. They decide when they will awaken in their own time. They're with us all the time, but they don't participate in anything because they're asleep. So this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes we've inhabited. All the galactics, off-worlders, celestials. Now, light energy beings, because of the eyes we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. We can't see in the light spectrums. The infrared, the red, the violet, the ultraviolet, the blue spectrum. We don't see them. But they come in shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations, unheard of. But there is a group that we do intimately interact with, mostly. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now ask yourself this question. Pretty simple. Could this body that I am in, that I'm powering, survive without air? Nope. Could it survive without water? Most likely no. Could it survive without fire? Probably not. Earth? Probably not. Wood? Probably not. So we do interact with the magics, the elementals, and the rest, they're there. It's just that we're too tied up in the material physical world to notice. Now the archangels, their civilization have vibrated at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them every day like we see each other. But they are there, and we interact with them on a continual basis, thousands of lifetimes. You might, have a 3-minute conversation with a complete stranger, and then afterwards it dawns on you that there was something about that person that must have been an angel, and you experience a little bit of bliss bubbles up from within you. Or there's times where you're just thinking to yourself, would be nice if I had an extra pair of hands or someone to help me with this. Boom, someone's there to help you. And then a lot of the times, we look away for just a brief moment, look back, they're gone. And it dawns on us, boy, is that strange. That must have been an angel. Now, they have the same message, they deliver it in so many different ways. And it's almost deciphering down to the understanding. Isn't it absolutely magna-glorious to be alive in these bodies? To taste, to touch, to feel, to laugh, to cry, to smile, to frown. All the things that we can experience in these bodies that we take for granted. Because as the gods that we are, when we leave these bodies, we don't do any of that. We don't taste, we don't drink water, we don't eat food, we don't sleep, we don't laugh, we don't cry, we don't smile, we don't frown. We don't do that stuff. And you can see why these bodies are so enticing. And they're a vessel that we utilize to experience. It's what it is. Experience, by far, is the strongest education that any of us could ever have. Blows away knowledge. Experience is the king of them all. So that's one of the main reasons we come in these bodies, to experience physical life. Now, they can surround us in the tens of thousands or tens of millions because of their vibrational frequency. They can hold a large number in a small area. You ask them, they'll be there in the blink of the eye, and you'll be in bliss. Now, they send the masters. They have ascended into physical form, have mastered physical form, have ascended out of physical form, hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We're in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, over 1,000 species, civilizations, traverse this solar system every day. Trillions from trillions of universes every day. Now, we're familiar with a small group: Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We're in the numbers, the gods that we are, that are one, and whether it's a billion light years away or right in front of you, we're in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These trillions of Gugaplexes, trillions of universes, because everything is unending. It is infinity and beyond. Extension about extension about extension. All one. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all love, and we're all God. And our God, force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to expand, intensify, and grow. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arion, this now. This light emanates from the inside, deep in our core of each and every one of us, the kingdom of God, the God source. It is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And it's flooding this planet. Infinity and beyond. It never ends. Saturating all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, head to toe, inside down. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. We're swimming in it. It's not like the type of glitter you'd see on this planet. It's much, way more. The only way to describe it is a grand finale fireworks that's never, ever happened on this planet in that intensity, a super laser light show that we've never seen, and like a ballroom globe, like we see in ballrooms that slowly turn and reflect all the light everywhere, except this ballroom globe is a trillion times bigger and a trillion times more intense. This is all combined, which makes up the ocean of glitter. It's flickering, flashing, exploding. It's huge. It's magnificent, magna-glorious. And we're curious, so we go to the reflective points. We notice these little tiny microscopic etched mirrors, perfectly etched. We enter them. And we notice that all of us in the Gugaplexes are either teaching each other or learning from each other. So we're either a student or a teacher or a student, or both. Never ends. We're always learning. Remember that the vessel is powered by the God. The tree is powered by the God. The bug, the fly, the bird, the bear, powered by the God. Just like these bodies are powered by the God, you. And this is how we learn. But a lot of us are caught up in the physical material world. So we miss it. You could have the best education you could ever possibly desire. You go sit in a park and just observe all life, and understand where that life is coming from. It's a choice. It's all about the journey within. A place plethora of discoveries await each and every one of us. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are, the gods within these bodies, are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light we created to remind us all, the gods that we are, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected with a white fire armor. This armor emanates from the God source within us. It is nothing like armor on this planet. It is way beyond. It cannot be penetrated, seduced, manipulated, enticed. No demon possession, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Because of the high frequency of this white fire armor, the lower frequencies can't be around us. They can't. If they are, they'll vaporize. Should they just say, well, just stay away? So no demon possession, anything like that, ever, 24/7, throughout in eternity, infinity, and beyond. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, your hatred, greed, anger, fear, revenge, dishonesty, hurriedness, envy, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are, no more. Then the second half of this column is the violet ray. We created this half of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. We are then met with golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us gods in these bodies that we are the sunlight. We are the sun. We are the sunset and sunrise. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the trees in the forest. We are the oceans, rivers, the lakes, the streams, the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time you do see or view a sunset or a sunrise, an ocean view, a mountain view, a starry-lit night sky, it is you. When you see it, that is the God that I am. You acknowledge that it is you. A whole different understanding. Then to say, isn't that beautiful? We continue to ascend above the planet, and some of us decide to step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it. If we're carrying physical form, the reason we do this is because it's fun and we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column of this tower, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light, and it is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light. Almost seems like they never end. And they're all creating this beautiful, it's just a stark white kind of a cloud gas mist, and it's sparkling, and it looks like it's electrified, and it absorbs right into our heart minds, right through our heart center. And it's like a warm embrace that never ends. We discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, then peace and the rings, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, tremendous prosperity, tremendous abundance. And we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that each and every single one of us are in these bodies. Now, at the top, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees throughout infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now. This golden ocean is saturating, flooding, and bathing us all, head to toe, inside and out, with the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Now, we're all drops of this ocean. And we all hold the essence of this ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere. Going on 4 years ago, every day, hundreds of millions of us, on and off world, with one loving intent to totally liberate this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Not halfway, but complete. Head to toe, inside and out. Now you can tap into these anytime you wish. Whatever suffering is occurring in your life, remember that it's simply there because you keep dwelling on it. Stop entertaining these thoughts. Realize that you are the master who is always manifesting your experience of reality. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Take about 20 minutes to write down and release today everything you think is wrong with your life. As you write it, feel it, releasing from your system, and proclaim that the opposite thought is now true. Get it out of your system so you can stop thinking about it. Once you stop focusing on what's wrong and start thinking about what is right, your suffering will end. Throughout today, practice letting go of trying to fix yourself or figure out what's wrong, and focus only on what's right with it. Practice formulating thoughts that are constructive rather than destructive today. Think only about what inspires you, for you, not to you. Spend your entire day focusing on what an amazing and magnificent life you have. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we'll return here Monday, January 10th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation